Maryland. This is now the 11th municipality that is allowing non-citizens to vote. Really? Are you kidding me? You don't live here, you're not a citizen, you can't even speak my language, but hey, line up here and you can vote as long as you vote the way I tell you to vote. And of course, that'd be a Democrat vote, because we'll give you things, we'll give you free this and we'll give you free that. Oh, by the way, when we give to you, we got to take from somebody else. That would be the Republican guy. These people make me crazy. It's a slippery slope. The politicians, they are the problem. Lock them up, those left-wing guys, and put them so far in jail you got to feed them with a slingshot, because that's bad. Just saying. Obstructionist liberals, that would be them. I mean, they're obstructing law. It's like these sanctuary cities. I mean, again, all you mayors and all you people who are doing that, what part of law don't you get? What part of it legal don't you get? President Trump, you're making a lot of noise and everything else, and I appreciate the noise, but how about some action? Take all those scamps and scoundrels and scallywags and lock them up, don't you know? Montreal, Canada, when you're done there, Trump, swing on up to Montreal. They got some guys there, they call themselves the Provincial Language Police. Put them in the same jail, just for the fun of it. Hey, they come around and they say, you're calling that sandwich a grilled cheese sandwich? You can't do that. You got to call it something else. Finally, though, they're saying, this is an amazing thing. Stand up, get the drums rolling. They're saying, you can now call it a grilled cheese sandwich. Really? That's because in the French language it was about that long and nobody had time to eat it, don't you know? The Liberal government in Canada is now saying we have to we have to say we're sorry to everybody who's gay from 100 years ago. You got to judge a person by the backdrop of their time, okay? Years ago it wasn't legal to be, I almost said queer, but I couldn't say that online. What will I say? Gay, that'd be the word. Are you still with me? And you know what? Who cares? Marry a bale of hay. But back then, you couldn't marry a bale of hay, and now the prime minister, that's better. He wants to say, I'm sorry to everybody, and he wants to give them a check and a shirt. That's outrageous. That's enough of this gay stuff. I mean, they've already won. They got everything they need. They can adopt kids. They can marry that bale of hay or another person, Mr. and Mrs., don't you know? Oh, Mr. and Mr. They have everything that we have. There's no other statements that are needed. You don't have to support anybody anymore and stand up and say, I'm with you, I'm sorry, it's not needed. Canada. There's some interesting things about Canada and the US. The Trudeau government, the prime mistake in the first prime mistake, his father, they tried so hard to take Canada away from America. We don't like to be identified with them because this is coming from the first Trudeau, the first prime mistake, because when the war came, I hid in the mountains on my motorcycle and I wouldn't fight, and I went to Communist Party meetings. So I want to make sure that our personality is somewhat different, because right now it's marked the same as America. So they brought in French. That's really dumb, and we still have it. 95% of all people in Canada actually speak English. And then he changed the dollar. He said, let's get rid of the dollar bill because Americans have it. Let's have a loonie, that kind of fit. And then he says, let's have the metric system. It'll cost trillions of dollars, kind of like the Language Act, but let's do that too, just so we can be different. But one thing he's missed, and that is so many Canadians actually have spirit. Rolling our way back in time, this is kind of amazing, was to me, what'll it be to you, the Civil War in the United States of America. Over 600,000 Americans died in that conflict. 40,000 Canadians joined the army. That's quite startling to me. I didn't even know that until now. 40,000. 4,000 of those, only 4,000 fought for the Confederacy, and all the rest fought for the Union. 29 Canadian soldiers were awarded the Medal of Honor. That's the United States' highest military honor. Again, kind of shocking. The volunteers included the fella, the woman, the man, who he composed the song, "O Canada." And he was in the battle. John Wilkes Booth, he was the person who assassinated President Abraham Lincoln. He was cornered and killed by a cavalry regiment led by a Canadian. And there's a long list of stuff. So hey, "O Canada," prime mistakes, you can't take it away from us. You can't have it all. We're still kind of people. See ya.